Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining. My name is Ness. I live stream every day around the same time as this, Monday through Sunday. If you want me to shout you out, write your name in the chat. Also leave a like. If you want to check out the rest of my channel, it's Ness DIY Corner spelled just like this. Thank you for joining. Welcome everyone. Shout out to Lulu. Welcome. Shout out to Elijah. Welcome. Shout out to Cookie. Welcome. Shout out to Maisie. Welcome. Shout out to Nylia. Welcome. Shout out to Ava. Welcome. Congratulations, Cookie. Keep it going. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to Susie. Susie. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Eliza. Shout out to Lena. Shout out to Michaela. Shout out to Logan. Shout out to Malachi. Shout out to Zyra. Shout out to Legends. Shout out to Alan. Shout out to Archie. Shout out to Elsa. Welcome everyone. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Also leave a like. Shout out to Amaya. Shout out to Sinmin. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Aria. Shout out to Eliza or Elisa. Shout out to Akira. Shout out to Kala. Shout out to Lila. Shout out to Elisa. Shout out to Manu. Shout out to Jordan. Shout out to Fatima. Shout out to Amir. Shout out to Lauren. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to Biggie Cheese. Shout out to Fallon. Shout out to Part Scion. Shout out to Little Scrunchy. Shout out to Easy. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Kiara. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Effie. Oops. Shout out to Khadijah. Shout out to Caroline. Shout out to Markellius. Shout out to Sadie. Shout out to Willow. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Yunche. Shout out to Nadia. Shout out to Amelia. Shout out to Titan. Shout out to Lindsay. Shout out to Nadia Dair. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. And I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Lime. Shout out to Alexa. Shout out to Caroline. Shout out to Mercedes. Shout out to Caroline, I got you. Shout out to Manuela. Shout out to Giselle. Shout out to Penny. Shout out to Ruby. Shout out to Johnny. Shout out to Simran. Shout out to Siandra. Or Chandra. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Lydia. Shout out to Penelope. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Lucy. Shout out to Mercy. Shout out to Neo. Shout out to Ayana. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Also write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Destiny. Shout out to Kaylee. Shout out to Nicole. Shout out to Caitlin. Shout out to Hazel. Shout out to Elijah. welcome. Shout out to Nana. Shout out to Ishan. Shout out to Sabella. Shout out to Viola. Shout out to Federica. Frederica. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Mary. Shout out to Sabrina. Shout out to Juliet. Shout out to Audrey. Shout out to Claudia. Shout out to Jaden. Shout out to Shaz. Shout out to Lauren. Shout out to Gwen. Shout out to Emmy. Shout out to Embla. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Kiaris. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Arthur Morgan. Shout out to Mohammed. Shout out to Anayi. Shout out to Kylie. Or Seely. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Doll. Shout out to Evie. Shout out to Cortez. Shout out to Allison. Shout out to Nicole. Shout out to Catherine. Shout out to Virginia Lee. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Dahlia. Shout out to Melody. Shout out to Lojane. Shout out to Rose. Shout out to Brooke. Shout out to Eli. Shout out to Virginia. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Lily. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Pookie. Shout out to Adrian. Shout out to Menace. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Judith. Shout out to Gonzalez. Shout out to Seba. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Louise. Shout out to Megan. Shout out to these people. Check and see if I wrote your name down. On to the next page. Welcome everyone. My name is Ness. I do shout outs on the live stream every day around the same time as this, Monday through Sunday. If you want me to shout you out, write your name in the chat. Also leave a like. I would truly appreciate it. If you want to check out the rest of my channel, it's Ness DIY Corner, spelled just like this. I post other content there as well. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the live streams. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Virginia Lee. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Maya. Shout out to Aria. Or Araya. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Carmen. Shout out to Kane. Shout out to Trip. Shout out to Sanaya. Shout out to Henrik. Shout out to Alessandra. Shout out to Amin. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to Gabriella. Shout out to Jenny. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Ria. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Ethan. Shout out to Teresa. Shout out to Addie. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Jessica Go. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Virginia Lee. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Tiffany. Shout out to Rafka. Shout out to Emily. Shout out to Ava. Happy birthday. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Shout out to Stella. Shout out to Supriya. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Jordy. Shout out to Rihanna or Raina. Shout out to Davin or Davin. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Lindsay. Shout out to Sawyer. Shout out to Adriana. Shout out to Christian. Shout out to Royalty. Shout out to Jade. Shout out to Serenity. Shout out to Iasha. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Veer. Shout out to Joey. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Amrita. Shout out to Jan. Shout out to Emily. Shout out to Noe. Shout out to Aaliyah. Shout out to Zach. Shout out to Kieran. Shout out to Adeline. Shout out to Anna. Shout out to Peggy. Shout out to Lucia. Shout out to Eliana. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Frank. Shout out to Ahmet. Shout out to Ahmad. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Jahoon. Shout out to Mariana. Shout out to Gerald. Shout out to Valentina. Shout out to Zafar Khan. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Johan. Shout out to Daisy. Shout out to Manu. Shout out to Teresa. Shout out to Sergio. Shout out to Vodianitsa. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Trip. Shout out to Karen. Shout out to Carla. Shout out to, is it Saitzar? I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Julie. Shout out to Billy. Shout out to Elite. Shout out to Nalani. Shout out to Billy. Shout out to Jace. Shout out to Leora. Shout out to Dustin. Shout out to Hakam. Shout out to Kale. Shout out to Alice. Shout out to Mud. Shout out to Johan Alejandro. Shout out to Alicia. Shout out to Andrea. Shout out to Fiso. Shout out to Charlotte. Shout out to Agni. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Karina. Zafar Khan, I got you. Shout out to Carlos. Shout out to Juliet. Shout out to Cassie. Shout out to Taysa. Shout out to Georgia. Shout out to Butter. Shout out to Christian. Shout out to Apple. Shout out to Matthias. Shout out to Sawyer. Shout out to Renara. Shout out to Zhao. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to these people. On to the next page. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Ness and I live stream every day around the same time as this, Monday through Sunday. I do shout outs on the live stream, so if you want me to shout you out, write your name in the chat. Also leave a like. If you want to check out the rest of my channel, it's Ness DIY Corner, spelled just like this. Shout out to Angelina. Shout out to Rayhan. Shout out to Maximus. Shout out to Tamara. Shout out to Lanisha. Shout out to Lola. Shout out to Christian. Shout out to Arad. Shout out to Prince. Shout out to Wilden. Shout out to Emmanuel. Shout out to Jalen. Whoopsie. Shout out to Levi. Shout out to Raymond. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Liv. Shout out to Jamal. Shout out to Agatha. Shout out to Alina. Shout out to Jayla. Shout out to Arlene. Shout out to Daryl. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Aisha. Shout out to Christopher. Shout out to Brian. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Nathaniel. Shout out to Merlene. Shout out to Luana. Shout out to Adeline. Shout out to Sang-hoon. Shout out to Claudia. Shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Maggie. Shout out to Kazaya or Cassia. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Alessandra. Shout out to Maribel. Shout out to Alan. Shout out to Jose. Shout out to Anina. Shout out to Aziza. Shout out to Jenna. Shout out to Dimitri. Shout out to Jenna. Shout out to Ayla. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to, is it Ray Glidis? I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Kayla. Shout out to Ralph. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Carson. Shout out to Diana. Shout out to Maria. Shout out to Athelda. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Sanu. Shout out to Shiv. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to O's Over Ordinary. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Brinley or Brinley. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Keiki. Shout out to Natasha. Shout out to Nisa. Give me 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Thank you for your patience. Shout out to Omar. Shout out to Christian. Shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Kipsime. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Sky. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Annika. Shout out to Sam. Shout out to Amisa. Shout out to Caitlin. Shout out to Bina. Shout out to Ellie. Shout out to Yesenia. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Rena or Reina. Shout out to Rube. Shout out to Bradley. Shout out to Adriana. Shout out to Ezra. Shout out to Carleni. Shout out to Juju. Shout out to Amaya. Shout out to Ardash. Shout out to Vanessa. Shout out to Christian Bonilla. Shout out to Adiva. Shout out to Raphael. Shout out to Aki. Happy birthday. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Dominic. Shout out to John Paul. Shout out to Maisie Grace. Shout out to Louie. Shout out to Angel. Shout out to Zaina. Whoops. Shout out to Annie. Shout out to Cadence. Shout out to Juna. Shout out to Orlando. Shout out to Colleen. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to Eliana. Shout out to Luciana. Shout out to Tay. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Swara. Congratulations. Shout out to these people. Check and see if I wrote your name. On to the next page. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Ness. I live stream every day around the same time as this. I do shout outs on the live stream. So if you want me to shout you out, write your name in the chat. Also leave a like. I would truly appreciate it. If you want to check out the rest of my channel, it's Ness DIY Corner, spelled just like this. I post other content specifically on the YouTube Shorts section. I hope you can check it out. Shout out to Kashaf. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Millie. Shout out to Nathan. Shout out to Andres. Shout out to Ale Cole. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. Shout out to Durple. Shout out to Michelle. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Riley. Shout out to Marenta. Shout out to Jenna. Shout out to Marku. Shout out to Grace. Shout out to Kaylin. Shout out to Angela. Shout out to Sam. Shout out to Ariadne. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Femboy. Shout out to Dana. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Kurt Wagner. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to Gabby. Shout out to Aya. Shout out to Salvatore. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Eliama. Shout out to Christian Jose Bonilla. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Valentine. Shout out to Jadu. Shout out to Thiago. Shout out to Aram or Aram. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Kayla. Shout out to Raffaele. Shout out to West. Shout out to Luz. Shout out to Najito. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Cole D. Shout out to Anastasia. Thank you, Anastasia. And that's super good that you know a lot of math. Very good. Shout out to Owen. Shout out to Zama. Shout out to Azul. Shout out to Asma. Shout out to Anissa. Shout out to Hugo. Shout out to Cece. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Renan. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Selena. Shout out to Minso. Shout out to Reynaldo. Shout out to Tari. Thank you, A.L. Cole. And thank you, Kurt Wagner, for your kind words. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Kimberly. Shout out to Akira. Shout out to Arca. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Also leave a like. Shout out to Naya. Shout out to Rafif. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Amanda. Shout out to Martu. Shout out to Hee-sung. Shout out to Kurt Wagner. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to West. Shout out to Camille. Shout out to Kanza. Shout out to Renzo. Shout out to Damelis. Shout out to Genesis. Shout out to Christian. Shout out to Kavaya. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Gabriel. Shout out to Emmanuel. Shout out to Grecia. Shout out to Arca. Shout out to John. Shout out to Amira. Shout out to Dave Strider. Shout out to Cassie. Shout out to Michael Jackson. Shout out to Adrielle. Shout out to Genesis G. Shout out to Vendash. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Sharifa. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Rodrigo. Shout out to Kristen. Shout out to Aubrey. Shout out to Abranis. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Martin. Shout out to Rafaela. Shout out to Danya. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Kayla. Shout out to Elijah. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Gabriella. Shout out to Nicola. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Real Madrid. Shout out to Krishana. Shout out to Iran. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Kayla. Shout out to Minsu. Shout out to Talia. Shout out to Barcelona. Shout out to Ness. Shout out to Alariza. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Magnolia. Shout out to Ella. Shout out to Sissy. Shout out to these people. Check and see if I wrote your name down. On to the next page. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Ness. I do shout outs on the live stream every day around the same time as this, Monday through Sunday. If you want me to shout you out, write your name in the chat. Also leave a like. I would truly appreciate your support. If you want to check out the rest of my channel, it's Ness DIY Corner. That's a C, by the way. I post other content there as well. I hope you can check it out. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Izzy. Shout out to Sirin. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Ethan. Shout out to LeBron. Shout out to Akira. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Kayla. Shout out to Hugo. Shout out to Sam. Shout out to Mavi, or Mavi. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Jalen. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Duda. Shout out to Christian. Shout out to Brianna. Shout out to Isabella. Shout out to Esla. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Reed Timmer. Shout out to Jiro. Shout out to Meilani. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Messi. Shout out to Daniela. Shout out to Ahmad. Shout out to Gabriel. Shout out to Amira. Shout out to KXG. Shout out to Gabriel. Shout out to Andres. Shout out to Coco. Shout out to Ellie. Shout out to Edith. Shout out to Fabricio. Shout out to Shayla Vay. I'm so sorry. Shout out to Shayla. I'm so sorry for mispronouncing your last name. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Gator. Shout out to Joan. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Amira. Shout out to Evelyn. Shout out to Gigi. Shout out to Celeste. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Lilac. Shout out to Rosa. Shout out to Louise. Shout out to Terani. Whoops. Shout out to Gianna. Shout out to Rebecca. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Melon Suitor Official. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Josue. Shout out to Maddie. Shout out to Tina. Hi, Tina. Shout out to Zalwa. Shout out to Kamani. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Barbara. Shout out to Joshua. Shout out to Diamond. Shout out to Lamine Yamal. Shout out to Adiala. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Eli or Ellie. Shout out to Javiera. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Rosa. Shout out to Yadav. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Nico. Shout out to Bright. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Cindy. Shout out to Manuel. Shout out to Skylar. Shout out to, you're welcome, Rosa. Shout out to Temperance. Shout out to Kristen. Shout out to Harmony. Shout out to Santiago. Shout out to Sasha. Shout out to Alexer Drabo. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Amanda. Shout out to Sakura. Shout out to Zoe Beck. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Krishana. Shout out to Excellent. Shout out to Erin. Shout out to Cooper. Shout out to Divya or Divya. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Fur. Shout out to Rosa. Shout out to Camila. Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to Paula. Shout out to Taylor. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Leonardo. Shout out to George. Shout out to Phoenix. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Emmanuel. Shout out to Madhu. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Taliesin. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Ness. Shout out to... Thank you, Rosa, for subscribing. Shout out to Christy. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Tina. Shout out to Adinda. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Nitik. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Carly. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Ethan. Shout out to Unesja. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Bebahan. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Ricardo. Shout out to Penny. Shout out to Noel. Shout out to Rylan. Welcome back. Shout out to Carly. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Krishani. Shout out to Lacey. Shout out to Katarina. Shout out to Alan. Shout out to Kyla. Shout out to Lupita. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Bridget. Shout out to Ian. Shout out to these people. Shout out to Cassie. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for taking the time to write your name. I truly appreciate it. If you want to check out the rest of my channel, it's Ness DIY Corner. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the shoutouts. I do shoutouts every day around the same time as this, Monday through Sunday. Thank you again for stopping by. I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.